Thanks to the ANZ Pro League brought to you by Gamester. We are on match point here for SYF, hopping into Neon Violet Square for a ZVZ. And a lot of pressure is on our mate Peppy here to try and keep the legacy dream alive.
Like the puns, man, to try and keep their legacy alive or something like that. Heh. But yeah, it's going to be tough. Peppy versus Crimson, historically, they have traded wins back and forth, but Crimson has won the last two series, and I don't think Peppy's taken a win off of Crimson since something like April. So it's been quite a long time, and Crimson's really come into his own this year. He qualified for the live WCS events that we've had, and I feel like Crimson is going to be in form, and he is going to be the player to beat tonight. But if Peppy can do it, he can force an ace match and keep his team's dreams alive. I'm sure the entire Legacy staff, player base, they're all chewing their fingernails off right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one to see if he can make this work. But, you know, this is one thing that we've noted in the previous weeks that, favored or not, Legacy have been fantastic at preparing for their matches. And this will be no exception. ZVZ is always a tricky one. But I guess something that's kind of nice, at least in this region, and definitely for someone like Crimson who plays in a lot of tournaments and gets quite deep in them, is there's a lot of material to study. And that can change from season to season. Obviously, looking at games from 2 months ago might not do you too much good, but I do have faith that you can put up a good fight here, and hopefully we can take it to an ace match. So without further ado, on Neon Violet Square, in the bottom right in the red for SYF, it's Crimson.
And up here in the top left, he needs to win this to keep his team's dreams alive. It's Peppy playing for Team Legacy. Good stuff. I think the one advantage that I would give to Peppy is I honestly think that he is kind of a god when it comes to build orders and preparations.
Yeah.
So he plays a lot better when it's just he needs to prepare for like one player or one series. If it's kind of like a long form tournament where you have to play all of your matches on the same day or across a couple of days, he doesn't perform nearly as well. But I think he would have played a hell of a lot of ZVZ, and I think that he might just be able to do this.
Yeah, for sure. And he's a guy, you know, he's Legacy have really come together to try and plan out their matches, and I know he's put in a lot of effort with T-Gun as well with those sort of matches, so he's studied these plays and he's done a great job at trying to come up with the right build to knock out these guys. Now, we'll see how it ends up for him. I mean, Crimson, I mean, this is a fact we can't really gloss over, is kind of undefeated at the moment in this team league. So that's a fantastic result for him, and that just is a testament to his consistency as a player throughout, you know, this year and last year. Every WCS season, he's been right up there.
Yeah, and he's also got Mighty Kiwi to practice with for this game, and what better way to practice than practice with one of the best Zergs in the region? Whereas Peppy might not have maybe the same caliber of opponent to practice with. I'm not sure if he's got some more mates outside of Legacy that he might be able to practice against, but hopefully he's got something nice and crisp prepared here. I do like his opening. He's going to be able to get an extra couple of drones out here and defend quite well, so he'll have a slight economic advantage in the drone count. And Crimson just going for a couple extra safety Zerglings.
Yeah, gonna poke out here, see what he can find. He can try and get into the main. The more links you have, the more chance there is of that happening. Peppy going for a Baneling nest in the main base there. And I'm always curious to see if the play with the Bane nest ends up committing to a whole bunch of aggression, or if they're going to just play it chill. Now he's got the 2 queens on the ramp there as well, which means it's going to be a little tricky for Crimson to actually get in and get the scout on that. So as far as he knows, Peppy's going to keep droning. We'll see if he continues to do that, or if he's going to stock up some lings and try and get a bit of a fight happening, especially since Crimson is taking a 3rd base already.
Yeah, a lot of great game sense. I love both of those moves from both players. Crimson splits up his Zerglings to try and dart back into the main, but Peppy was already very well prepared with that queen block on the ramp. These guys have been playing a lot of StarCraft. That was just something small to note, but it goes to show you learn all of these really small things by just playing the game a hell of a lot.
Mm-hmm. Now Peppy's going to ward off these lings with his own head across the other side of the map. He has seen the third base, so he knows that's there. Keen to see what his response is going to be. He's actually playing super defensively. He's got a spine at the natural. He's got a lair in his main base and 2 extra gas coming down at the natural. So that's actually looking like meter.
Yeah, it does look like that, Zeph. There's no third base, and that's a lot of gas. Like you said, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Spire. Crimson has gone for a very fast third base, and he should be able to defend it reasonably well. Only a couple of Banelings morphing in for Peppy, but they are defensive Banes. And there goes the extra gas. The lair's done, and you called it. It is the Spire.
And just as that goes down, Crimson, Walter's on in, the Queens aren't in position, and he will lose at least one of them here. The Banelings trying to waddle after these units as well, but the Spire is going to get scattered, and a few drones may go down as well if he can't get rid of these lings in time.
Oh dear God, if that Spire falls... Oh,
not
okay,
today.
He keeps it alive, but that's a very solid scout by Crimson, who immediately... he's getting that evolution chamber, he's getting his own Spire as well, so he should be able to get some spores, maybe go for Hydras, but he's got a lot of options. And now Peppy, he needs to find a way to do damage, whether that's with more Banelings, whether he does commit to these mutas. Looks like he will let the Spire finish. He's not looking to cancel that and switch up his tech or anything like that, but he needs to find damage, otherwise he'll just fall way too far behind.
Yeah, it's going to be a little rough. I mean, the drone count for Crimson's looking nice and healthy. He's getting a Roach Warrior and extra Queens. He's going to be well set up for the defense, and that's the beauty of scouting that Spire. Peppy is also taking the back corner third, which is not as juicy.
Hello, gorgeous.
Oh.
That's a Nidus network.
Hey, baby.
All right.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could do that, and you can get Ling counterattacks when the mutas fly across the map, and it's something that would be very difficult for Peppy to defend. I don't think he's really committing to any more defensive Banes or anything, so he's got about 5 or 6 Lings left, and that's his whole defense right now. So Nidus could actually be the perfect response.
Yeah, I mean, when a player goes muted, they are very much relying on mutas being able to do everything they need for the map control, for getting a couple of worker kills, clearing up the vision. But Crimson may have just found the solution. These Lings are not long for this world, but not to worry, these mutas are going to start drifting around, seeing what they can pick off in the skies here. His own Hydra Den finishing up back at home. And Crimson, he's really not felt too much of the pressure from these mutas just yet. He's only just now getting the spores.
We
Hydra
cancelled it.
coming up.
I think it was actually supposed to be a Hydra Den.
I mean, that makes a little more sense, I guess, but Nidus would have been cool, man.
Nidus would have been
done
cool.
Some work.
Yeah, and also you think about it, because Zergs, oftentimes they go mutas and they try and defend with those spine crawlers right at the front, but if you get a Nidus and you can maybe get that worm down, then you can bypass the defense and go for it. But alas, it was not meant to be. We do have the Hydras coming out. I'd expect a 4th base from Crimson pretty soon, but he's looking in a very strong spot. He's got 70 workers. He's up to 111 supply. And as that Hydra count grows, so does his strength and his map control. Peppy needs to find a way just to dart in, do some damage, find any wave that he can just to get himself a lead.
Yeah. Well, as long as he keeps them alive, they'll still be useful. Lots of Queens and Hydras out here, which is going to make it difficult. The mineral line's covered by spores as well. You can basically always get kills, but you're going to take a few shots on the way. So he's going to maybe look for some drones on the outskirts, like the gas drones and whatnot. He could also deny that 4th, but it looks like Crimson is actually going to sit out here, which is a smart move. Not going to let that happen. And what's Peppy got going on at home? Looks like he's starting to pump out a couple of upgrades and actually move into Lurker.
Yeah, I like the Lurker choice. Especially on this map, you could set up some pretty sick baits into some of these areas around the map. So that could be pretty cool. He does have the mutas, so he can keep denying some of the overlords, but he flies them straight into Hydras, and he's just losing so much so quickly. Peppy, please.
Oh, don't hurt me like this. We got
Oh,
16
no.
roaches on the field and a bunch of hydras. They're not all together. In fact, they're in true halves, and half the army's getting picked off in the neon violet squares. No! Crimson is quite far up in supply right now. He's just pushing forward, morphing some Ravagers on the front lines. Peppy is just going for it with what units he has on the other side of the map. And the mutas are nowhere to be seen. I think there's only like 3 left anyway.
Yeah, it looks like Peppy's just getting torn apart, and his multitasking just wasn't good enough. His unit control was very lackluster in the middle of the map there. And Crimson is just bashing forward into this natural base. He's up 60 supplies. FGG! SYF do it, and they win the grand finals of the ANZ Proleague.
They certainly do. Huge congratulations to SYF. My goodness, what a performance this season. Undefeated, man. That's pretty impressive.
Very, very impressed. SYF, they went 4-0. They didn't lose a match. They get to the grand finals. They win that as well. So dominating. I loved their performance this year. Hats off to Legacy as well. They had a very strong showing after a very rocky start. But yeah, SYF take that top prize. It'll be $1,400 US. And Legacy will take home $800 for their effort as well.
Yeah, fantastically done. All teams making some money from this league, but the grand final prestige does go to SYF. Legacy putting up a good fight. Downfall also just narrowly missing out on that grand finals as well. Fantastic performance from them as like a brand new team, the newest kids on the block. Certainly surpassed our expectations there, especially with some really awesome players on OSC Elite and 1F Pro as well. All the teams have been quite evenly matched, so it's been a fantastic season for sure.
Yeah, it's been such a wild ride. I've really enjoyed casting this with you. It's been a fantastic time and highlights of my week over the past 4.5 weeks. So big thank you from the bottom of my heart for Blizzard for putting this on and making it all possible, and to GameStar for doing the production. There's been some great feedback along the way, so everyone that's tuned in and given us some constructive criticism and helped us grow, or just tuned in general, it's been a wild time, an absolute ball bringing it to you, and hopefully we'll have another season next year, and then who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a ball. This is probably my favorite event that
Favorite
we've done
event of the
this
year.
Yeah, it's so much fun, and it's got some great competitive spirit that I think our region has been missing in terms of like the team community at the moment. So that's been great. If you are in the Blizzard OCE, how do you say that? I always say O's in my head. And see StarCraft channel. There is a call for feedback in there on this event, so please put your thoughts in there, and hopefully we'll get more seasons of this and make it better each and every time, because we absolutely love having you guys watch and having you guys participate as well. So please let us know how we can improve the show. That'll be awesome. And I'd also like to give a shout out to Mr. Ryan NXZ Jones, who I've missed for the past few weeks, and Sano caught me last week. He's been doing some fantastic recap shows for us throughout this tournament as well. I'm not sure if he's going to do one for the grand finals here, but keep an eye out for that, because that's some awesome content as well. And definitely promotes a bit more of the trash talk that we love to see in the team leagues.
Yeah, good predictions, good analysis. It's great having someone like that in the community that can come on and just do that out of the love for the games. So yeah, big thank you to NXZ, and hopefully we can continue that sort of content and maybe make a bigger role for it if we do get future seasons. And look, even if we don't get future seasons, this was fantastic, even if it was a one-off. And we'll have WCS coming out next year, and we'll have tons of great events. StarCraft is going absolutely nowhere. And it's looking like the future is even brighter than the past.
It is, especially for our region. This has been so much fun, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. Huge thank you once again to Blizzard and GameStar. Make sure you give those guys a little love for putting on the production, making our job really easy, and also, of course, putting in some money for the teams in our region and making them snatch up a whole bunch of players to actually fill out the rosters for this, which is definitely served its purpose. So unless you have any final words, Death, I think that just about wraps it up for us.
Yeah, the only final words I'll say is thank you all, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Have a Merry Christmas, stay safe, and a Happy New Year. We'll see you soon.